Let me see if I can. Got it. And that's how you get a bug off of there. Just reverse the tape the other way without touching the paint or primer, and then you're in good shape. Welcome back to the community, everybody, and thank you all for being part of it. All right, about 3 days ago, we went ahead and did the quarter panel, and I think it come out really nice. I really do. There was one little blemish on that line, but you know what? I'll go ahead and take care of that. It's not a big deal. But the lower section using the metal Bondo and then switching to Rage for the second coat come out really, really nice. Okay, today I'm going to take the door, put it on a table. We're going to sand, speed up a lot of the film, and we're going to go ahead and fix that and see how much Rage I need, because something's up with Amazon. I don't know why they're taking forever. Let's get on it. Just another quick peek. I love the way it came out. It really did come out nice. I got one little zebra stripe right there. Not a big deal, because I get a sand and paint anyhow. But come out good. I'm really happy with it. I'm a little irritated. It's probably hard to see on camera, but right here, I gotta sand that a little bit more. I didn't realize till the primer was back on, and I'm not buying that stuff that you used spray on error to see the highs and lows. All right, so let's take a look at our door. This one's gonna, I don't know. I'm not happy with this door, but it is what it is. Sometimes you have to work with what you have. I gotta blow it off. But look at the bottom. Now, I did sand it. I'm gonna re-sand, and I sprayed Ospo acid on it to seal it. That's why it has a black look to it. But I gotta sand it again. I already did the other side of the door. It's ready to be primed. And wished I could find a rust-free door, but where I live, it's not as easy. So, but you can see down in there, that's already sanded. The other side's done. What I'm going to run into here is places like this. Like, I got to figure out how to get some filler in there. Ugh. What a pain in the butt. All right, let's start sanding and get on it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sand this. I'll speed the film up. I got 100 grit on here because when I was doing the quarter panel, it was hard to cut that old factory paint down. So we're going to sand this area all down. I'm going to re-sand the bottom lip, so I'll start moving the cameras around, but I will go ahead and speed the film up, and then we'll see what we got to work with here. Make sure you wear a dust mask when you're sanding. This looks like house paint, this brown patches. So let's sand down and see what we got going on. Well, use that paper up quick. You know, it's funny. Well, sort of. When you look at something like this here, it's like I don't even feel anything, but it looks like it's a gouge. That's weird. Some people actually like body work. I don't actually enjoy it. I don't mind the spraying and that, but they say prep works everything, and that is very true. However, I'm not doing a Pebble Beach score the car deal, so it's a budget, and I'm trying to stick to it. Okay. Bunch of pitting here, here, here. I'm going to a swap meet in a couple weeks. Wondering if I'll find a better door, but let's fix this one up anyhow. All right, gotta switch out paper again. Funny part is I dreaded doing this door, but it's got to be done. All right, here we go. Wow, going through the sandpaper fast. All right, that's weird. If you look at that, it looks like it would be bumpy, but it's actually smooth. This isn't. That's almost smooth. I'm going to get some 60. Well, let me run 100 around here, and then I'll get some 60. All right, one more run with 100. So just ran the 60 in the first place, but it didn't be that rough coming off. I just want to run 100 along here real quick, and then I'm going to get on to 60 so I can hit the bottom of the door. All right, rock and roll. Smoked. Wow. All right, I don't know if I should do this or not, but I'm going to run a 60 grit on it. I need to cut some of this down. We'll make it right. I want to see what this does. I don't know if it's too heavy or not. We'll find out. This stuff's pretty nasty. Wow, this stuff is brutal. This isn't too bad. Looks bad, but when you rub it, it's almost smooth. Probably a skim coat of rage on it, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray these areas with Ospo so that it seals it. What a nightmare. Woo, this is nuts. Okay. Let me get this mask off a minute. There we go. I just turned the camera off and just started sanding away. What a nightmare this one is. I got a wire wheel so I could clean inside the hinges. Can't get a sander in there. It's still rough. I've been cutting on it. All in this area, I'm going to have to hit it again. The bottom of the door, I wire wheeled. I don't know whether to put filler on this or just hit it with Ospo to seal it and then prime and paint, because it's at the bottom of the door underneath. You'd have to literally open the door and lay on your back on the ground to see it. And it's not that I'm being lazy. I just think filler on the bottom would start to crack or something after a while. So, okay. This door's a little bit of a nightmare. I didn't think it was that bad until I started working with it. So, all right, let me hit it a little more. I don't know how anybody does body work for a living. I turned the camera off and kept sanding. I just sanded for about 2 hours and got up all the way around inside the window well. I'll bring the camera up here in a minute. So I'm going to have to put some rage in here. I hope I have enough because Amazon still didn't show up yet. There's a little dink here. Let me bring you here a minute. There it is. I should have waited for the meet in a couple of weeks in Ohio that I'm going to. You can see here. See that? Gonna need some rage on there. Wow, looks like little continents. Okay, that was dumb. This here, I just don't know about putting Bondo or rage on the bottom of the door. I think I'm better off hitting this with primer filler because I just don't, you can't see the underneath of the door. So really considering that. Oh, all right, let's get some rage and put them on them spots and then we'll smooth it out. Well, there's the rage that I'm going to use. And it's empty. I have a little wee bit on the pad. Thanks, Amazon. It was supposed to be 2-day delivery and it's been 3.5 days now. Oh, sorry to complain about Amazon if you're your hero, but it just really bums me out. See, this isn't real. I'm trying to fill it in. I'm using primer filler when I spray, so. I don't like this kind of work. Wish I could find rust-free parts. But in my state, that's never going to happen. Once this dries, I'll hit it with like 220 because the rage sand's almost too easy, if that makes any sense. It's starting to harden. I got a little heavy in a hardener, dang it. Let me try this one again. Do that one. I'd rather have it on heavy and then have to sand it since it sands so easy. I have Bondo, but I really don't want to use it because it's a pain in the butt. Okay, well, that was it for that. All right. Okay, I'm going to let this set up probably for about 20-30 minutes. I'm going to get a sandwich. And then I'll be back. We'll sand this down, and then I'll see what else I have to do. I missed this little tiny dent here, but I know I'm going to need to do some recoating anyhow. I'm hoping Amazon shows up today. I did order the Rage and seam sealer. All right, so since I can't leave anything alone, I'll bring you over and show you what I did. So right here, I forgot there was a little blemish there, so I used some metal Bondo on it. Nobody's ever going to see it, but it bothered me. All the way across the bottom of the door, I put metal Bondo. I know nobody will ever see that, but it still bothers me. So, I mean, I could have primed it with the primer filler and it would have been fine, but it bugged me. I don't know why. So that is going to take a little longer to dry. I'll sand that nice and smooth, sand the exterior of the door smooth, and there's still a couple spots that I've seen afterwards, which is fine. I'm not making it perfect. However, I do want it to be decent looking, because that's why I even went over this, and I got to do that little piece there. It's making me crazy. I'm just waiting on that to dry now. The metal Bondo is taking a little longer than what they called for. I don't know why. I think it's just the humidity of where I'm at. Primer filler builds up, and it's actually really nice how it works. I love using it. But at the same time, I couldn't leave the bottom of the door like that. So I did that off camera. Like I said, some stuff I'm doing off camera, and then I'll show you because I know that can be boring. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I waited for a couple of days. I took a small break because I was waiting on Amazon. They, for some reason, said the Rage wasn't available, gave me a refund, so I had to order something else. That was kind of weird. What I did pick up was EVERCOAT lightweight, non-clog lightweight filler. It says it's easy sanding, tack-free, lightweight, and easy spreading. Came with a hardener. I think it was like 30 bucks though, which the lightweight fillers aren't cheap for some reason, and I guess there's a reason for it, but I don't know that reason. But they do work much better than the Bondos. I have used Bondo, and I have some on hand, but I try not to because it's like sanding concrete. The metal Bondo I do use in certain areas. So that's it. Let's get back on the door. So I started sanding, and I realized something very important. I forgot to hit the record button. You didn't miss much. I just was sanding across the top of here. So I'll bring you in close and speed up the film. I got to do this corner here by hand, which is a real pain in the butt. And we'll go ahead and sand this. I got to put it on a table to sand this part because it's lightly raining out, so I can't work in the driveway. So come on up close. Now, this was the metal Bondo that I used here. It's a little bit stronger. Remember to put a dust mask on, please. Do not work without one, especially when you're sanding. It's tough to do around corners. It really is. But I'll go ahead and speed the film up now. This is 100 grit because that's metal Bondo. Come out pretty good here. I got a couple little small pock marks, but I think the primer filler is going to seal that in. Seems good. Remember, I am not a professional body man. That should be okay there. Just trying to smooth this. Now I'll go over this with the orbital and make sure it's all smoothed out. But it seems to be okay. Just a little line right here. Filling glaze before it's done. That stuff seems really hard to sand. Might put some lightweight stuff in here to cover that. Okay, I got this corner. That's what I wanted before I put it on the table. I'll put some lightweight stuff in here and then go over it one more time. So let's get the orbital, go over the face of the door. That should be it, hopefully. and I'll be ready to prime it. Let's get it on the table. Okay, I put it on a small table. I have a big table, but it takes too much space up in here. I can't wait to get the tranny in. I think I'm going to do that soon, clean up the swing axle, put new boots on and shim it, and get the front discs all put together, because I have them dollies to move the car around. I think I'm going to hit the pause button just briefly after this door's primed in that front quarter section, so that I can move the car back and forth in here. I think it'll make a huge difference. Okay, enough about that. I'm going to go ahead, speed up the film with some cool music, and I'm going to sand this down. I want to get this in primer today. I have, oh boy, the bottom's coming off of this really high-end Harbor Freight sander. I have 80 grit on here right now. There's still some oomph left in it, so dust mask. You don't want this in your lungs. Okay, speed up the film. Okay, still got more to do, but it's funny when you're looking at this. It looks like it would be rough, but it's actually extremely smooth. That is the weirdest thing. I might put one more light coat of the lightweight body filler across there and smooth it back just a little bit because I'm odd, but it's actually coming out really nice for what I had to work with. I have a couple gouges here, and it's because when I flipped the door over on the table, there must have been something on it, and I was moving the door around. No big deal. I can smooth that out. Let me change paper, smooth this. We're going to hit the bottom of the door. Then we're going to come back with one more lightweight filler, sand, and prime. It may not look it, but it's pretty smooth. I'm going to hit it with 220 before I'm done. But this one here will take a little wee bit of light filler. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go across the bottom because if you remember what that looked like before, I put metal Bondo on there. So let's scuff that down. Okay, I'm going to try to not get in front of you the best that I can. Okay, switch sanders. I got 60 on this because this is metal Bondo, but I'm not going to press hard. Now, when you're done, make sure you open up, and I'll show you in the end, your drain holes, though. Now, you shouldn't be getting water down in there, but in case you do. All right, mask on. All right, now I don't know if you remember it beforehand, but it was pretty rough. So I'm not worried about the underneath of the door being perfectly smooth. I'll get it the best I can. Well, not the best I can. I'll just get it, But I'm going to put a little bit of lightweight on here, and it'll sand quick and easy. But honestly, it was pretty rough underneath here. And remember, I live in a Rust Belt. This is a budget build, and I think it's cool because we're doing the car section by section. So let me get some lightweight filler mixed up. We'll try that, the EVERCOAT out and see how it goes on. So I mixed up the lightweight filler. We'll see how well this sands. Hopefully it's better than the Rage because I don't see the Rage available like I used to. And I could be looking in the wrong spots, which is very possible. There's a little divot here I want to fill in. There we go. That'll work. There was a couple spots I wanted to hit one more time. Just because. There we go. I should be able to sand this time and get the primer on and get the door hung. It won't take long for it to dry. I went a little heavy on the activator, hardener, whatever you want to call it. It's actually smoother than it looks. That's the funny part. Okay, let me get down here because the metal bond though was a little rough. A couple little pock marks, so I just want to make sure I get it, you know, not the best I can, but, you know, make it a little smoother. I don't know who's ever going to stand on their head and look underneath the door, but you never know. People do weird stuff. There we go. And it's hardening up. I guess I got a little optimistic with the hardener. That's good. So it is all pretty smoothed out. I'll go over it real fast off camera with the orbital, but I think we nailed it. I see a couple little tiny pock marks, nothing major. It's on the bottom of the door. What do I think? The Rage versus the EVERCOAT? I like the Rage better. I think it sands a little more quicker and easier, but that's okay. The EVERCOAT's not awful. It's a lightweight filler, so I mean, it's doing what it needs to do. But I just think the Rage was a little easier to work with. So, all right, let me hit it with a orbital real quick. I'm going to hit it with like 400, and then I'll be right back. And I'm going to warm the primer up in some water, and we're going to spray it with the door laying here, less chance of runs. All right, I brought this up in other videos, but somebody had said in my last video, hey, you should be warming your paint and primer. I did say it in the video. They probably missed it, so I'll at least show it. I went down the house and I grabbed some hot water. Now, not scalding hot where you're going to burn your hands off, and you don't want the can to boom. But you do want to put like a little warmer than warm, if that makes sense. Shake your primer up for like 2-3 minutes, okay? And even if you're just using paint, you know, and put this in here for 10 minutes. So I'm going to put it in there and let it soak for 10 minutes. And, you know, get whatever you have. I took one of Heather's, I think that's for plants. She's not around today, so I grabbed that. I'll put it back and just soak it in there for 10 minutes. It helps atomize the paints and primers. So shake for 2 minutes, put it in there. When you take it out, shake for 2-3 minutes again. You can never shake it up enough. So I just wish this had the fan spray. I really do. And I'm kind of bummed because I thought they did, but they don't. And it's too late now. So I'm going to look while I'm out over the weekend and try to find gray primer with the fan sprays. I should have used white primer since the car is going to be white. So, but we'll put that in there and let it float around a little bit, turn it a couple times. That was a lot to say. All right, so I went over it one more time and I did wipe it down with a tack cloth. And this is the filler and sandable primer, so it'll fill in some tiny voids, nothing big. Use a regular respirator. I just put this on because I'm outside, but I'm filming and you can barely hear me when I put the big one on. So now when I use the 2K clear with the catalyst, you will see the big snorkel on, my skin all covered up, and we'll go over that later. So, okay, we're going to go ahead now and we're going to get it primed. I'm going to blow it off real quick, even though I wiped it off. Okay. Want to get underneath these. Okay. Oh. There we go. Okay. I'm going to come across the bottom. I see a few little imperfections, but I'm going to hit that with filling glaze and I'll end up smoothing it out. And then down in here too, I'll hit it. But this was going to be done separately, so I didn't care. There we go. I'm going to get up here next. Couple imperfections right there. I'll hit that with filling glaze. That I'm not worried about on the inside. I didn't do it yet. I'm trying to get these hinges here. I know. Give me a second. You can't see this part. I know. The bottom didn't come out as bad as I thought it was going to. I thought it would be worse. Imperfection right there. I'll need filling glaze. Not a problem. I'm gonna get the other can. This is too empty. Okay, this one all warmed up. It was sitting in the can of water. Well, Heather's pot. All right. Yeah, I wish this had the fan spray. It doesn't. I'm excited about trying the Rust-Oleum 5-in-1 spray where you can adjust it for a vertical or horizontal fan. This here, you have to overlap it pretty intense because of zebra striping. Here, get my mask on, I can smell it now. The thing is with the primer, it's a filler primer, but I'm also going to block it lightly and then use nitrostan. Well, nitrostan's an old term. Filling glaze. So that's what I'm going to do for any imperfections. Watch my shirt don't bump it. Okay, I'm going to let that tack up because I got to put another coat on, but it don't look horrible, but it needs another coat, so give me a second. See that there? Little, it spit once, which no big deal. It's very sandable. Okay, so it sat almost 10 minutes tacked up. I got a bug. Ugh. I tried to reverse the tape. Let me see if I can. Got it. And that's how you get a bug off of there. Just reverse the tape the other way without touching the paint or primer, and then you're in good shape. So comes a bunch of kids off the school bus, so I got to stop recording for a second. I got my handle on here now, which helps me spray better. I thought that was going to come out worse there where all that rust was. Not too bad. Got a little oops there. I can sand that smooth. Yep. It just sprayed. Or it spit. Probably because I have the can angled down instead of on its side. I don't like the way this is spraying. I might look into a different primer. I've used this before, but I feel like they changed something on it. I swear they did. I'm not worried about a couple little spits because I can sand them up. I just wish the fan would work on it. Like I'd have that fan spray, but I don't. Yeah, it's spit a few times, but it's fine. I'm not going to get aggravated. That's why they make sandpaper. I'll hit it with like 800 and smooth it right out because it's a thick primer. If I had the fan spray, and I know I'm saying that word a lot, it would do a pattern like that. That's what the paint's going to be like. And of course the 2K clear should be. But this is causing me to overlap real tight. Ugh. I had to grab another can. I seem to be going through a lot more primer than I normally do, which is confusing to me. Okay, I already had this in the hot water, or I should say warm water. Alrighty. Not too mad. A couple little small blemishes that I'll fix with filling glaze. Don't get me wrong, I like this filler primer because it's real thick and you can sand it down. But I'm gonna go look for a fan spray one when I'm out, probably tonight or tomorrow. Everything I bought is fan spray. I wasn't paying attention, but I've used this before and I could have sworn it had fan spray on it before. Who knows? Now, I know it looks crummy right now, but remember, it needs sanded. It's a thick primer. It's a filler. A filler and sandable primer. So once I cut it down, it will look a lot better. Okay. Ugh, caca. You can see a very mild bit of zebra striping. But it don't matter because I'll be scuffing it down and painting it. But it actually did come out good. I can't complain. It does look pretty nice. I hope it dries quick. I got to get it in the garage. I'm going to take a look at different primers and see if I can find the ones with the fan spray nozzle on them, because that's what I did for the paint. I bought the vertical or horizontal spray pattern because it'll spray a pattern like that, which is wonderful. I did change my mind on that turbo spray. That stuff was crazy. These guys were doing bedside panels with them. They were shooting a pattern like that. So I went to the other one. I'm going through a lot of primer and I don't know why, because I normally don't. So I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. This is the way I wanted to do it. But give me 1 second. I'm going to get this in the garage as soon as it dries. Okay. So that's drying, and then I got to get it in the garage. Looks like it's going to rain. I think tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and do this section and then do down through here in the heater channel. And that way this side of the car is done. I'm doing it in sections. I'm not claiming to be a body man or anything, but when it's done, it will look nice, trust me. And then I'm going to pop the trunk off and do that, the bonnet. I'm not doing down inside. That's all getting carpeted. So I'm going to check for rust, clean it up, OSFO it, and just spray a haze of paint over it. I'm not messing with ripping all the wiring in that out. I don't have to do that on this car. So this is what's next. I'm probably just going to do it tomorrow and put that video up in a few days. So it's coming along more than what you think it is. So that is this week's video. I do got to start doing more of them. I'm never going to get done. One thing I said I am going to do, I'm going to go ahead and clean that transaxle up and paint it, put new boots on and everything, the swing axle, and probably get it in, and then put the disc brake setup on the front, because then I can move the car around on the dollies, which will be a great help. So I'm probably going to squeeze that in between, and then I got to do the aprons, etc., etc. So we'll keep moving forward. I'm a little bummed out. I'm using more primer than I normally do, and I don't know why. I can't figure that part out yet. So I'll see you Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for the live chat. It's been great every week. Now everybody's been chiming in. I hope everybody has a great upcoming weekend, and thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. I'll see you soon.